Hi, Sergeant Carson.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Fine.
I'm Scott Taylor with 19 Action News. Can you tell me what you've been doing in the last 3 hours back in the woods?
No, I've been on patrol. Thank you.
No, you haven't. You've actually, can you wait? Can you wait for a second? You've been sleeping back there. I want to ask you some questions. Can you stop, sir? Scott Taylor with 19 Action News. I'd like to ask you a couple of questions.
Can we, you know what, we've got a couple of things going on right now. Scott, this is a private.
Hold it. That's Whirlpool CEO Jeff Fettig's PR machine quickly building a wall of silence in the lobby of a downtown Detroit hotel between their $12 million man and 19 Action
Talk to you
News.
about positive things. You're more than happy to talk to us on camera. When there's issues, you run from them. You run from the camera.
You at all,
yeah.
Scott.
Well, then answer my question.
Now I really need your help. Go to our website, look for Alexa Brown's picture on the front page. I put together a special petition that asks for a federal investigation into what's really happening here in Clyde, Ohio. So far, more than 500 of you have signed up. We need a lot more. Scott Taylor, 19 Action News.
Excuse me, Dr. Sanders. Excuse me. Thank you. Dr. Sanders, I'd like to talk to you. I don't know why this gentleman's blocking me. I'm Scott Taylor with 19 Action News.
Sure. Wow, that's Ron Kisner, the school district's chief of communications. He's playing offensive lineman for his boss. Yeah, let me tell you, security is pretty tight here. We got this gentleman right here who's actually moving us over here. You can see he's actually now pushing me over out of the way. We wanted to show you the red carpet and the tent that we showed you at 4 o'clock, but hey, that's all right. We're okay. And you know, people are heading into the casino because, well, he's now stopped following me because they want to cash in on the horseshoe.
Well, 19 Action News was the first to break the extreme case of animal abuse at a cattle ranch in Texas.
Workers killing calves with pickaxes and hammers. Now, investigator Scott Taylor is back with another exclusive on this investigation that has captured worldwide attention.
In my hands, viewers sounding off about our investigation. They are pouring in from all over the world. My story up on YouTube has already gotten almost 12,000 hits. Now, my sources say the criminal investigation into this wicked case of animal abuse is just about wrapped up. It doesn't get any worse than this. Calves being attacked with blows to the head with pickaxes and hammers. My sources tell me the criminal investigation by the Castro County Sheriff's Office in Texas has just wrapped up into the E6 Cattle Company ranch. Investigators are focusing in on employees who viciously subjected these animals to torture you don't wish on your worst enemy. Hidden cameras caught it all, and Mercy for Animals handed the video over to me to show the world. The ranch buys calves from dairy farms all over the nation and then sells them back to dairy farmers, including those in the Midwest, to produce the milk you drink. Thousands of calves call the E6 ranch home. After seeing this extreme video, you responded. Julie from Boise, Idaho says, Scott, do not allow any of those people to ever be around animals again. Cynthia from Chagrin Falls says, thanks, Scott, for your backbone and guts for airing the horrific abuse of farm animals. Lynn from Victoria, Australia writes, I am constantly amazed at the cruelty that occurs in U.S. industrialized farming. Well, a district attorney in Texas will have the sheriff's investigation on his desk in the morning for possible criminal charges against the idiots on the cattle ranch. You gotta love that. Scott Taylor, 19 Action News. The EPA not happy with me after my 4 o'clock story. They say, how could Administrator Lisa Jackson know about the cancer cluster when the CDC is consulting with the state, not the EPA? Strange, because I'm holding a letter from U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown to the EPA and Lisa Jackson, dated February of this year. It talks about the cluster in Clyde and asks Lisa Jackson for help. A 14-mile stretch in Sandusky County is home to the Clyde cancer cluster. More than 30 sick kids, 6 already dead. The state of Ohio, after 5 years of testing, can't figure it out. Parents in 19 Action News have been asking since last year to bring in federal investigators to help solve the mystery. Today, I found out one reason why the feds aren't showing up. Federal EPA Director Lisa Jackson has no idea what's happening in Clyde, Ohio. Are you familiar with Clyde, Ohio, and the 36 kids who are dying from cancer and the 6 who are already dead? Are you familiar with Clyde, Ohio?
I have never been to Clyde, sir.
So you're not familiar with Clyde, Ohio at all, and the cancer cluster that's there?
No, but we're happy to speak to you off camera.
I caught up to Jackson as she toured Moen World Headquarters in North Olmsted. Moen is the 2010 EPA WaterSense Partner of the Year. Quite an accomplishment. I tried to talk to Director Jackson one-on-one, informing her PR machine We had questions concerning the Clyde Cancer Cluster. They said no, so we asked some tough questions in Moen's press conference and in the hall. Sadly, Jackson had no idea what we were talking about.
Would you be willing to meet with the parents of these kids?
We certainly will have an EPA representative meet with the parents of these kids.
But would you be willing to meet with them?
Yes, but I think it would be great if they would meet with one of my employees in the regional office.
They've gone to Washington, D.C. at least 2 or 3 times.
Okay, then I'm happy to meet with them.
Great. Thank you. Terrific. You have a great day.
All right. Thanks for coming.
19 Action News undercover at Fat Little Buddies in Olmsted Township, keeping an eye on one of its business partners, Joe O'Malley. He's pled guilty to federal charges, including lying to the FBI in connection with the Hughes County corruption probe. For the past 2 years, Joe has been getting rich off of your tax dollars through computer consulting contracts for the county. In 2008, a $100,000 deal. In 2009, another $100 grand. The county has paid Joe almost $200,000 every year. Joe O'Malley is recommended for the job by this guy, Dan Weaver, the county's Information Services Center Director. Last year, Weaver admitted to me he had only considered one other person for the huge deal other than O'Malley.
I think he's the most qualified person for the position.
Are you good friends with him?
I'm friends with a lot of people.
I know, but are you good friends with him?
I'm friends with a lot of people.
19 Action News undercover back at Fat Little Buddies. If O'Malley and Weaver are just good friends, why is Dan Weaver showing up again and again at Fat Little Buddies? For weeks, we watched Weaver working behind the bar, pouring drinks for customers, walking in and out of the bar's cooler in the kitchen. He was even taking orders. It's clear Dan Weaver and Joe O'Malley are more than good friends. They're business partners at Fat Little Buddies.
Can you explain to taxpayers what you and Joe O'Malley are doing at Fat Little Buddies?
That's personal business. It's a business venture.
I keep digging and discover Dan Weaver and Joe O'Malley go way back.
Can you explain why it's not a conflict of interest that Dan Weaver, who gave you a huge county contract, is partners with you in Fat Little Buddies?
There's no comment.
Joe and Dan have homes in Westlake. They went to John Carroll University together.
You recommended your best friend.
I recommended my good friend for a contract that
For
he was
3 contracts.
clearly qualified for.
Yeah,
And the
$100,000
ADP
contract
board
didn't go out for bid.
all voted and agreed on it.
Right, and then you opened up a bar with them.
Yep.
Did Dan Weaver just admit to a state ethics violation? The Ohio Ethics Commission says public employees can't use their positions to award contracts or money to their business associates.
How is that a conflict to the taxpayers?
Because you know there's a state ethics law that says that you can't do business, give taxpayers money to business partners. You can't do that, right?
And you figured this out. There's 200 FBI agents running around this county. They didn't have any problem with it, but you cracked this case. Come on, this is ridiculous.
O'Malley incorporated Fat Little Buddies with the state of Ohio in November 2009 while he was getting paid under a county contract recommended by Dan Weaver.
Was Fat Little Buddies like a safety net for you, just in case things went really wrong?
You know what it is right now is, you keep mentioning it's good advertising for us.
Last December, Weaver recommended O'Malley's contract should be renewed in 2010 for $60,000. Fat Little Buddies opened its doors to the public 2 months later with both guys, Dan and Joe, toasting their success on the bar's website.
In the middle of one of those contracts last year, you decided to open up a bar with them.
No, that's not the facts. If
Then
you're
what's
not
the
going to
facts?
talk about
Then
the
go ahead and tell me the
I don't
facts. Then go ahead and tell me the facts. I'm tossing Dan Weaver and Joe O'Malley into our Hall of Shame. You two guys, state and federal officials are going to decide if you committed any crimes. But it's clear to me, if you recommend your best buddy for more than $200,000 in county contracts and then you open up a bar with them, shame on you. Scott Taylor, 19 Action News.